Good morning and welcome to Zen Fits, broadcasting here from Blackstone, Virginia, the center of the world. But then you too are the center of the world. The title of this talk this morning is You Are the Greatest Story Ever Told. Now we always do associate that with the Bible. You remember in the 50s when Cecil B. DeMille came out with all these Bible stories, The Robe, and all of these in CinemaScope, and it was all about telling the stories of the Bible and CinemaScope and everything. Anyway, I digress there. The reason what started me off this morning was I have a page where I write insights on Avatar, and I've been writing on this page since I first saw Avatar, and it's called The Voyage to Pandora on Facebook page, and whenever somebody views it, I open up my page and I read another insight. It just keeps on giving, just a fountain of insights. Oof. So we're talking about the movie then as myth. A movie is a myth in the sense that it's a story, and it's also a metaphor. It's taken me a lifetime of, study since the 1970s. I've been studying and rereading the works of Joseph Campbell. And basically it's all about penetrating into the mystery of myth and metaphor. What is it? Very few people, we don't know really. We think we know, but we don't really. So I keep trying to do it myself in my own practice, and then sharing that with you. So let's take a look at Avatar and Jake Sully. It's great when you have a movie that most people have seen. I could also use The Queen's Gambit as recent, so it's kind of like a reference or metaphorical, a reference that we can all use as a working metaphor to make a leap of understanding. So just briefly, let's look at Avatar as metaphor. And it's the journey of this character in a movie called Jake Sully. It's the hero's journey. He goes from being broken, disabled, lost, useless, to being a Buddha. They don't use the word Buddha, but he wakes up at the end. He wakes and he looks at you. You look at him and he looks at you. Who is that? You see. Now, the metaphor has two fingers. It's kind of like this. Kind of like you see these pictures of a street sign. It says one way and one way, okay? So one finger points to the fact, the it. Jake Sully is a movie, a character, a fantasy. It's there. I go watch it. You see, it's third person grammar. It. It's out there. It's not me. But when I go into the movie, sit down, before the movie starts, the movie's in it. I said, wonder what it's going to be all about. Oh, I can't wait to see it. Then the lights go down. The film starts. And the movie is no longer it. Now, if the movie's good, we suspend belief in it and we become the movie. We enter into the movie, and woe begone anybody that starts tapping and talking to you while you're in that movie. You get, stop talking, I'm in the movie. What do you want? That brings us back to it, you see. So when we're in the movie, we're kind of like in first person it. Just at night when you dream, you are all the characters in the dream. But yet, you see them as different characters, yet you are all the different characters. So in the movie, like a dream, you are all the different viewpoints of the movie as the first person. In other words, you are the lover, you are Jake Sully, you are the colonel, you are the Navi, and you're flipping back and forth, you see, from different viewpoints. And you get confused, just like Jake Sully. What's real? What isn't real? Is this movie real? Or is my sitting in the audience real? I don't know. What's real? There's a contradiction there that must be resolved. So the movie metaphor, Avatar, brings you to that crisis of not knowing what's real. Is it real? Am I real? Is it real? It real? What am I? Yeah, contradiction. Wow, 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 wow. This creates a tape loop of energy. Wow, wow, wow. You know, when you stick a microphone in an amplifier, it goes wow, 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 wow. Turn it off. If you don't turn it off, your mind or the amplifier will blow up. So the tape loop, the contradiction of wow, 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 the snake eating its tail, wow, 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 me not knowing what's true. Is it true? Should I choose this or that? Should I take this job or that job? Am I good? Am I bad? Am I going to die? Am I going to live? Is this cancer or is it just gas? So, you know, wow, 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 wow. Worry, worry, worry. Tape loop. Contradiction. How do we get out, you see? Well, the movie creates a contradiction in the same way that a Zen cone creates a contradiction. The Zen master gives you a cone. He says, holds up a stick. If you say this is a stick, I'm going to hit you with it. If you say it's not a stick, I'm going to hit you with it. Now, which is it? You got to choose or I'm going to hit you. That's a contradiction. What are you going to do? What are you going to do, you see? So the metaphor, the myth, the contradiction, the zone, Avatar, creates a contradiction. How do you get out of it? Well, Jake Sully, through his character, gets out of the contradiction. Now, the movie as metaphor is a contradiction because most people don't see the metaphor. They say, oh, what's a movie? Or they say, Avatar is about Western civilization destroying Native Americans, the Pandora, they're Native Americans. And, in other words, you can come up with all these it's. Third person understanding. It's this. No, it's this. So once you come up with I know what it means. I know it's this. Somebody else will say, no, it's not that, it's this. Then a third, no, it's not that, it's this. And so you get a whole bunch of it's, each of them arguing with the other as to being which one is the true meaning. Contradiction. So in the it world, there is always contradiction. Whenever you say, this is it, somebody else will say, no, this is it. Now, which is it? If you say it's this, you're wrong. If you say it's this, you're wrong. But you got to choose, but which is it? But if you choose, you're wrong. See, this is, if you choose, you're wrong, you see? If you say it's this, you're wrong. If you say it's this, is this the whole body? No. Is this the whole body? No. Now, which is the whole body? You can't choose because of the way it's framed. If I frame it, so there's this and this, if I frame it in third person, it, everything's in it. Third person grammar, remember your English class? Third person means person, place, or thing. It's a person, it's a place, or it's a thing. It's an it. In Avatar, Sky People, they said everything's an it. The home tree is just another tree. It's just an it. Cut it down, they'll get another one. Big deal. It's an it. Everything's an it, you see. So we live in that kind of a world. We live in an it world. Everything's an it. You look around, you can name it. You're full. This room here is full of its. There's an it, there's an it, there's an it is something. In Zen, Chinese Zen, they call it 10,000 things. 10,000 its. You see, there's endless its. Third person. Endless its. All of them contradictions. So what is the shift in the metaphor brings, the great movie brings, the greatest story ever told? The greatest story ever told is a story to remove you from the story, is a story that removes the contradiction of the story. Now, we're all stories. There's Ed. I'm the story of Ed. Story of you. You got a story. You got a history. You got the memories. You got habits. You got a personality. You got a way you frame the world, the way you see the world. You're a character in your story. Have a name. The character. I'm Ed. That's the name of me and my story. Story of Ed. We all have a story, you see. We're all the main character. But are the other people in our story it? Well, yes, they're all it. They're all wife, children, neighbors. The world isn't it. Everything's in it. A bird just flew by. That's an it, you see. So all this it world, And so, but who is the character in my story? Well, I have qualities. You see, I'm 84, or I'll be 84, the 15th. You see, and I have some gray hair, and I'm this and that, and I weigh such and such, and I live in Blackstone. All these qualities of it. You see, but is that who I am? You see, there's contradiction there. I'm never an it. I cannot define myself through all the qualities of me, my parents, where I live, and all that. I can keep going infinitely, coming up with more qualities. Who am I? You see, I can have a profile, you see. But still, I never get down to it. There's an it there, a contradiction. So let's go back to Avatar. There's a contradiction in Avatar that Jake Sully has to solve. So he solves it in the story as if so. So the metaphor has to grab you. The metaphor has to reach out and snatch you up. A surprise. I am Jake Sully. Jake Sully is me. I am Jake Sully. Jake Sully is me. Yet, I'm not Jake Sully. He's in the movie. He's in it. He's a fantasy. Nevertheless, I am Jake Sully. Now that I am is first person grammar. I am. Then you got third person, it's, all these it's. I am it. So I can say I am it, and then I can go, I am Ed Connolly living in Blackstone. He's 84, he's married, he's got this history and all that, yada, all these it's, you see. So I can say I am all of these, you see. But who am I? I has just said, well, I'm not I am all these it's, you see. And this is 10,000 things, 10,000 fingers. I can keep on going, counting all the different it's, qualities of it's, you see. But who am I? I don't know. I must be something. I gotta be something. I gotta be in it, you see. So I keep trying to find myself over here. Now the metaphor makes you leap out of that when it grabs you. The metaphor, spiritual metaphors, not just literary metaphors, that's part of our language. Like you're a lion in battle, that's a metaphor. You're not a real lion. Okay, but a spiritual metaphor makes you leap into the first person. It's eureka. It's kensho in Zen, you see. It's self-realization. In Yang, it's individuation. All these different names. Salvation, enlightenment, awakening is a shift from being an it to being I am. And the metaphor, like a movie, is a bridge, a mediator, art, you see. So you go into the metaphor of the art, the movie, and there is a sudden realization, I am Jake Sully. Or in the Queen's Gambit, I am Beth. I am the Queen's Gambit. The Queen's Gambit is me, and yet it's still a movie. You see? So the metaphor holds these two contradictions. Third person, first person, I am, Third person, I'm an it. I am not an it, so what am I? Since I think in it, since we think in third person, a thought is it, a feeling is it, an emotion is it, a choice is it, even my consciousness is it, my personality. You see, all these its, you see. Who am I? I don't know. I can't find it. So the metaphor, the movie, the spiritual metaphor, even the Bible even, is the bridge that makes us leap into first person, around which all the its of the world flow, you see. Instead of being an it in the orbit around this nothing, invisible man, you see, just being another it orbiting around it. That's why we get a false idol. Something has to stabilize me, so I get a false idol and put it in the center, and then I orbit around that, you see. So religion does that. It creates a false idol, an idea, an it. It puts an it here, and then we orbit, you know, we form a group and we orbit around it like planets, you see. Who are you? Well, I'm Jesus. Jesus supports me. See? So Jesus is it. So I orbit around that. But Jesus isn't it. Who am I? Oh. So we need a mediator. So this is what I'm trying to point out. The movies, we love these movies, these great movies, because they metaphorically make us leap if we want to. If we want to, we don't have to. You know, it's just a movie, forget it. Doesn't mean anything. Entertainment. What do you do? Just enjoy the movie, for God's sakes. Not to make something out of everything. Just to be philosophizing. And just enjoy the movie. You know, okay, fine. But if you want to know who you are, movies can be a mediator that helps you leap from being an it to being I am. So I am, through the mediation of the movie Avatar, the Queen's Gambit, you see, I am the first person, the one who has no second. Around me, around I am, my whole world of its goes around, you see. But I can never see myself as an it. Yet I am, you see. I know I am. Before I become an it. First person grammar is before third person grammar. Before person, place, and thing are, who are you? You're the first person. All things are Buddha. Or you can say all things are Jesus, but then we're making Jesus and Buddha in it, you see. So you got to erase that too. And that's Zen. Thanks for dropping in. The greatest story ever told. I may change the title. We'll see. Anyway, thanks for dropping in.